I'm Chef Boria. It's Morel season, so what are we gonna do? We are gonna make morel soup. Get ready for your mind to be blown. In order to make morel soup, you are gonna need morels. That's 2 freaking pounds. Probably overkill. It's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna show you how to clean them real quick. In order to clean the morel, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop off the bottom of the stem. I'm gonna get rid of that part. Then I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna make sure that the inside is clean. I can just rub my thumb down it. Now some people will tell you not to do this, but all these ridges can collect dirt and they can collect sand. What I'm gonna do is in a water bath, I'm gonna very quickly just give it a rinse, kind of a quick shake. Make sure that I've got the insides clean, because otherwise you can get a lot of grit. And then I'm going to set it aside. I'm not going to let it soak, just getting all the crap out. That one's good. Now that my morels are cleaned, I'm going to fry them up in a pan. Use a good olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. I happen to have a porcini mushroom olive oil. And I'm going to line my pan with that. Then we're going to throw in a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, and then we're going to put the morels in, and that's going to pull the flavor out. All right, in my pan with my porcini oil, I've got some minced garlic, probably about a tablespoon, and then I've got 1 small onion that I diced up, and I put that in there. Don't worry about the chunks. We're going to end up putting this in a food processor later and making it real smooth. Once the onions cook down, we're going to add our mushrooms. I've added my mushrooms now. I'm going to be cooking these for a little while. The pan is way crowded. It probably shouldn't be this way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook them, I'm going to cook them, I'm going to cook them. They're going to break down. I'm going to be moving them around a lot. And they're going to get all that flavor into the oil, and we're going to be using that. In with the mushrooms, we're going to add a little bit of thyme and a little bit of butter. I sauteed the mushrooms way down, as you can see. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a food processor or a blender to make them smooth. If you want, you can set some pieces aside if you want to have some chunks in your soup. All right, now if you look on the internet, you're going to see a bunch of recipes that call for chicken broth or chicken stock to be added for this morel mushroom soup. Why would you put chicken broth in morel soup? What we're going to do is we're going to take porcini mushrooms, possibly the king of all mushrooms, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rehydrate them, and I'm going to use that stock instead. Much better. Chicken broth. To rehydrate my porcinis, I'm simply just going to put some water on the stove and heat it up. These will steep, they'll get soft. We'll rehydrate porcinis, and then we'll also end up with a mushroom stock. In order to kick up our porcini stock, we're going to add this Better Than Bouillon mushroom base. This is an awesome product. I love it. I love the name. So since we're not using the chicken broth, this is what we need. And pop your morels into either a blender or a food processor and give them a chop. In my soup pot, I'm going to add 4 cups of cream. Porcinis are looking done. I can pull them off, give them a quick chop, or throw them in the blender if you want a completely smooth soup. And I've also got a stock that I can add to my cream. Add your blended up morels to your soup. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add our porcini stock. One thing to keep in mind with the porcinis is that they can tend to be a little bit sandy or have a little bit of grit. So when you pour this in, I'd suggest that you'd either run it through a cheesecloth first, pour it, or you can pour it slowly and make sure that you don't pour the grit in at the end. Your rehydrated porcinis and give them a chop. Go ahead and add them to your soup. Again, if you want a smooth soup, stick them back in your blender. Drink of the evening is going to be some Johnny Walker Green Label. It's a 15-year. I'm told that they're discontinuing it, so get your hands on it while you can. In order to thicken it up, I've mixed together a little bit of the soup stock with flour. You can see that it's incredibly thick. And then I'm going to add it to the soup. Got a nice thick consistency now. Time to finish it off with some cracked pepper and plate this bad boy. Nice and thick. Take a look at that. Beautiful. So you've got those nice chunks of mushroom in every bite, and it's thick enough that it's coating the spoon. Let's taste this thing. Oh man, it's amazing. Enjoy.